Hey, what is going on, everybody? It is David Palmer, Leo King, and we are here for a little bit of talk about what's going on with this dark moon. I know we just did deep astrology yesterday, and if you're on Future Life, I've been talking about it. But before I do some of these giveaways, not only I'm giving away this magazine, which I'm going to sign, I'm going to print out your chart, and I'm going to send it to you and write a little thing on the chart for people who bought on my Cyber Monday. But I'm also giving away 3 Future Life subscriptions right now. And I'm also giving away a free reading with me for people who put up pictures with buying my 2019 Astrology Guide magazine. So, but before we do that, I thought, I don't want to do a video where people are just here just to hear me give away giveaways. I thought I'd at least give away some astrology knowledge first, so it's not like some boring situation here, and that's all we're doing is kind of just talking about giveaways and stuff. So let's go into some of this stuff. And the cool thing is I will be able to screen share some of this stuff as well, which is kind of cool. But yeah, I'm super stoked about this astrology, even though at the same time there is a very intense aspect to everything going on right now. So I mean, at the end of the day, it's kind of like, I guess you could say it's not like the easiest thing going on in the world right now, right? But yeah, I just think that at the end of the day, there's some major choices in our life, and I want to go through the chart and show people that. So I do have the chat here. Let me move this here, and let me screen share with y'all. We're going to do this. Okay, so number one, we are looking at, let's look at the planets exactly right now. And here we go. The dark moon is over in Scorpio, but it's now moved into Sagittarius. And we're getting ready for this new moon, which is going to happen for me on the West Coast tomorrow night around 11 p.m., 2 a.m. on Friday. But the big news, of course, has been this Mars and Neptune energy, because one, Mars, when it comes into Neptune, is definitely got an action-oriented plan. Neptune is a weird house of energy, right? It's kind of like, I said this to a good friend of mine today, and I just came up with this analogy. It's like going to somebody's house, Neptune's house, and being Mars, like, all right, we're coming, we're going to have a barbecue. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. What are we doing? Are we going to play video games? Are we going to watch the game? And then Neptune's on the couch, like stoned and on LSD and drinking a bunch, and is like, well, I guess we could do that. I don't know. Let's hold off a little bit, and let me just try and figure things out, So Mars gets really frustrated when it conjuncts Neptune in that aspect, because what it wants to get done, or the things that, it really wants to achieve, kind of has to go through this process of going with the flow of things, right? Like there's this element of needing to go with the flow. There's this element of like, how are things really going to happen? So yeah, there's a lot that kind of comes up that makes it kind of like, oh man. 2, there's the whole ego element of all this, right? Because Mars rules our ego, and there is something that is holding back our ego. Neptune wants to cleanse us. The positive part of Neptune is, bringing us to a higher compassionate aspect, learning to soften our ego. It is like an ego blow. It is kind of a tsunami to the ego of like, maybe, are you really going down the right path? Are these just old patterns that you're doing? Like, do you really want something even though you want to attain it? Is it delusional? Is it not really on point? And especially since the sun, of course, which also rules this identity aspect, and kind of it's egoic in a way, right? There's a major aspect of that. But so you have the sun and Mars squaring on top of Neptune, and the buildup of a dark moon. And more important than that, you have the buildup of this Mercury stationary, ready to go direct on Thursday, and Chiron coming direct Sunday early morning. So this interesting trine, which actually is a grand trine at the same time, is looking at our subconscious emotional stuff very intensely, especially with Mars doubling down on Neptune, the sun squaring Neptune. And these are the higher parts of our mind especially because that's what Sagittarius rules. So we are coming into a space where it's like before a big quest happens, as Saturn is almost out of its shadow period, ready to come direct over that shadow period and move into the next round of Saturn's, taking us on this new quest and journey. But we also have got, of course, Jupiter in Sag. So these are these dignified positions of these planets. We're getting ready to go. Venus in days, like next week, is coming out at 10 degrees. We got a lot of things that are out of its shadow. There's a lot of things, primed up and ready. But before that happens, we've got to really figure out where our ego sits. Like, are we really, really doing what's the best thing for us in our life? Or are we going down roads that have been pulling us away? When you get Saturn in its dignity in Capricorn starting to sextile over to Neptune, this is about getting on track. And what are the things that are not allowing us to be on track? Because there is that Neptunian element about, kind of in the corner, like all messed up. Like I'm using an analogy, of course, right? Like that whole analogy of like, oh my gosh, like I'm just lost in this weird thing. I'm all on, or it's like somebody's really drunk who's an alcoholic, like, I need help, and here's Saturn being like, let me get you on track. Let's get you out of this room. But then with Mars on Neptune, there's kind of this element like, no, let's go tomorrow. Let's go 2 days from now. Truly, this is an intervention that's happening over this new moon cycle. This is an intervention happening over these next couple days. I said messed up, but you could be methed up too. I mean, Neptune rules all the drugs. And, for people who don't do drugs or don't drink alcohol, Neptune is where our own dreams are. So, okay, but with Saturn starting to sextile this in Capricorn, and especially with all this energy that's going on in Sag, there's this element of like, is this all really going to happen? Is this all really real? Like, or it's also looking at the subconscious tendencies of, what is blocking us to get what we want and go where we want to go and actually experience the world we want. So this is a rite of passage. This is a rite of passage about whether your ego knows how to let go of things that are not good for our path and connect with things that are on a better and a higher path and to get back on the track in our life. I think that's so important right now, like beyond important. And especially because let's look at this in animation. Let me get back to the screen share aspect here. Okay. So look at this. This is what gets me. So we go to the new moon, December 6th, Thursday. There it is. It's at 11 p.m. Pacific. Boom. Okay. 15 degrees. Mars and Neptune are pretty much exact. So here's the rite of passage starting. A new moon in Sag about opening up all these options and starting to see options in areas in which are not part of the same cycle that we keep going down. That's part of that rite of passage. Are you ready to drop a cycle that you just keep going through? A chaotic one, a one that's not giving you what you want, that's not turning out the way that you want to, that's not filling the void? 2, Mercury's now direct. And what's interesting is with Mercury direct, it is looking at the south node at 27. It is looking at the north node, and it's looking at Chiron. But Chiron's stationary retrograde and stopped, which means this rite of passage to me is bringing up where you're going to see people who, oh, you know what? I'm just going to overdo going down what I don't want to let go of, even though it's not bringing me the true void. It's almost like people addicted to, trying to feel good in a weird way that they know is pulling them off their tracks, but it's too hard to let go of it. And, having these interventions from the universe, God, spirit, angels that is saying, hey, you can drop this, don't go down this road, and signs show up. But let's look at Why I say this is such a rite of passage, because then the new moon happens, and then let's go to the 7th. Boom, the moon comes off the sun. Okay, all right, boom. The new moon's finishing. Mars is off Neptune. And there's actually some interesting aspects. There's some semi-squares going with Uranus to Mars and Neptune too. So it's like, this is forcing us to really see a bigger picture about our life and to kind of pull ourselves out of this kind of delusional aspect and look at the logic behind what we really want and how to achieve that, instead of getting caught up into some craziness. Mercury's direct looking at these nodes of where our destiny sits and how we're going to have to deal with emotions and tough decisions in order for us to truly get through this. But look at Saturday. Boom. The moon's on top of Saturn as it's ready to go over its shadow. Saturn will be over its shadow at 9 degrees. It's like 9 and like 9 minutes. It's like right there, 7 minutes. I mean, it's like right there. But there's this needing to make a tough decision in life about learning to let go of just patterns and situations and things that are just not filling the void up fully and that are holding us back. But how you react to that, whether you decide to experience Sagittarius, especially with Jupiter, right? And a new moon in Sag, whether you want to experience chaos and seeing the same pattern just go back to the same thing again in a more dramatic way, or in a very wake-up way that might not feel fun, especially with the moon on Saturn. It could just be depressing, or it could just be like, okay, I'm finally over it, you know? Like, I always use the analogy of like taking like drugs or alcohol, just because it represents Neptune so well, and or addiction, whether you're a gambler or, you know, you're addicted to a relationship that's just toxic. Like, finally you reach a position where it's like, you know what? No, I can't do this anymore, especially with the moon on Saturn, because what happens on Sunday? Boom, Chiron turns on direct, and that's it. We are not going to see Chiron direct in Pisces for over 4 decades. So guess what? This will be a moment where either A, it'll feel really crippling, you're finally going to get over it, it's a true intervention and you got to enter into the spiritual cleanse, or B, you were ready to before do that, you're cleansing it and you're ready to move into a new direction, and you're ready to do the tough aspects, which I think at the end of the day is kind of the same thing. But when Mars passes Neptune, boom, Chiron turns on, and there's this element of like, there are just some things that don't work out in life, and that's okay. There's some things that our soul tries to do to fill itself up, to feel good, and if it doesn't do that, that's okay. We got to learn to be, you know, compassionate about what isn't going to work out, learn to be easygoing and not feel like, why me? Why me? Why me? Why me? Why can't this work? Why isn't this, you know, we can get really caught up in a lot of that kind of crazy, you know, element of like losing ourselves in certain things and losing ourselves. And oh my gosh, like, this is an intervention moment, because next week Saturn's out of shadow. Look at Venus here. It's so used to being in the studio, getting lucky with that. I'm blessed. So we're at December 11th now. What was I looking at again? I was like, oh, Venus and Mercury. Mercury comes out of Scorpio, boom, on the 12th. Okay. Look at Venus, 10 degrees. On the 17th Monday, Venus is out of shadow. Saturn's out of shadow. The sun's at the galactic center point. I've said this. You guys need to all, if you get a chance, definitely go check out where is it? It's at theleoking.com. I've got this my December horoscope is, oh, it's so funny, this thing's all zoomed out and zoomed in. You just can go to my store now, and you can click on like special horoscope video reports. I got my tour videos up, my school. Anyway, you can just go to special video reports, and it's right here. The December horoscope. I do 2 hours of how I'm doing this right now, and talking about how this is about to build the quest. And I'll give you a little insight for free if you're not buying it. December 17th, galactic center, Venus out of shadow, Saturn out of shadow. the moon, conjunct Uranus and Aries, and the nodes, ready for this revolution. Mars off Neptune. I mean, this is some powerful stuff. Mars sextile Pluto. This is one of the most powerful days of the year as far as destiny and moving on the new quest. So a lot for people to really think about there. You know, and I think that that's super important to really pay attention to, is that's how fast life is going to change. Life can change in the middle of a second, and you're going to see that over these next couple days. So be prepared for that. Be prepared for, we all have an intervention that we all are facing in some form or fashion, and it's Scorpio world as well, with Mercury retrograde finishing and Venus in Scorpio and Pisces elements. These are all in ourselves. We deal with those interventions in our own selves. Some of it might not be external. Some of them we might not want to admit. We might not want to show, but they're there. Okay? So, but I think Saturn, because it's and Jupiter are the two most dignified positions here. And I guess you could say Neptune. I mean, it's kind of hard when you come into these battlegrounds of dignified energies, but all three say Neptune and Pisces do the higher thing, Saturn do the integrity thing, and Jupiter do the thing that brings you the most ultimate truth of beyond to a galactic understanding. So the intervention is the things that are not on that higher spiritual path, that are not in alignment with your destiny to achieve your real true desires and goals and achievements, and with a positive experience and a learning and a teaching and a growing and a really positive, loving, happy experience. Don't go do that shit. Like, it's done. You're done. You're done with doing that. You're done with being in those cycles. You're done with that. Like, throw that shit out. You know what I mean? Like, not even worth it. So, you know what I mean? I'm in the chat room with everyone. Force is getting strong. I know, you know, it's so funny. It's like today, you know, here in California, they're like, it's going to rain. It's going to rain. So I take my shower and I didn't look outside. I'm like, oh, it's supposed to rain. So I put on my beanie today. I'm all dressed warm. It's actually cold out, but it's like, man, it didn't rain much today. So I'm a little bummed. But the force is definitely strong. But things are also what you think at the same time, or what you want to believe. With this Neptune square and stuff, like, I wanted it to rain. It did rain a little, but not what I was expecting. Not definitely beanie weather. You know what I mean? Like, but that's the interesting aspect of all this stuff. So, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to keep you guys on camera here because I got to figure this out. I'm going to do the giveaway of the magazine first. And I got to pick somebody who purchased from Cyber Monday. I'm trying to think how this is going to work with the orders. And I'll be looking at questions while I'm looking up this stuff. Open question time, so we don't lose people. And not about individual sun signs, because, you know, the magazine's available in all of America and Canada at like Lowe's and Walmart and grocery stores. But if you're in another country, we sold out online. So, but I think from what I've heard from my publisher, at the end of the month, beginning of January, it should be on Amazon to buy. So, yeah, for Australians, yes, it will come on. We'll be able to get you guys when it comes on to Amazon. Somebody just said, you guys know there were 7 volcanoes erupting on the West Coast. Oh, Thor News, that guy's badass. In 1800, when all gas giant on the same side like right now. Yeah, and there was a lot of... The West Coast definitely can always be rocked with a bunch of weird stuff. We're all weirdos on the West Coast. You got to remember, Neptune in 1848. Everybody came west to find gold. Then they came up with claim jumpers and cowboys and Levi's, and there was the 60s movement of LSD and San Francisco and Haight-Ashbury and, you know, the flower revolution and Hollywood and movies and, you know, the West Coast, California and all that stuff is earthquakes and, you know, the starting of medical marijuana in 1996. I remember being a kid, 12 years old, and people were smoking weed in the 90s, and it was legal. You know what I mean? Like, this place is always going to be crazy and always going to have fires and mudslides. And I mean, we're just like used to it here, you know, like we're not afraid. Like, the funny thing is the people that came west were not afraid to go. My grandparents, I'm going to show you all this. I'm going to show you guys this. I've never shown this to anybody, actually. You guys are going to trip out. So we'll go on my Facebook here. We're going to go onto my dad's Facebook, actually. My dad's about to get blown up. You guys are going to be like, what the hell? Your dad? All right. So we'll go into my dad's albums. Okay. We're going to start with this. Okay. So... all right. So here it is. Here's me. Here's my brother. Here's my mom. This is my dad. This is me at like, I don't know, 5 years old or something. Or no, I'm like 8 or 9. I think this is right after I got my tooth chipped. Okay. There's me as a baby, my brother, my mom, my dad. Now here's where it gets interesting. Here's my dad. Here's my grandfather, David Palmer. This is who I'm named after. And these are my aunts, right? And this is my nana. This is my papa. Okay. Now this is my grandfather, David Palmer. This is my great grandfather. Sorry, I got alarms going off. This is my great grandfather, Lyle Palmer. Okay. This is my great grandfather, Lyle Palmer. And this is my great grandfather, George. Okay. So that's my great-great-grandfather with my great-grandfather. There is my great-great-grandfather with my great-great-great-grandfather, John Palmer. Okay. There is my great-great-great-grandfather, John, with my great-great-great-great, I think that's it, 4 greats of Robert, who came across the Oregon Trail to Oregon and settled in Oregon. Okay. So my Palmer family literally came on the Oregon Trail. Like, it's part of my heritage and history and all that stuff. My dad has a cool thing here with the Oregon Trail. Yeah. So like, so this is who I'm named after. That's David Palmer. It's my grandfather. This is the Palmer family store that was in Baker City, Oregon in the early 1900s. This was it. And they had a jewelry store. They did bicycles, motorcycles. They were like, you know, they did a lot of cool stuff. Indian Motorcycle. They were like one of the first franchises for Indian motorcycles, 1906. My grandfather had the first car, you know, like one of the first cars in all Oregon. You know, like these are all like old pictures of my fam. And then this is a house that my Palmer family had where there was an organ in the house, like an actual like organ, not like Oregon the state, but like an organ. And then they got into some other businesses, my Palmer family. Just, you know, lots of stuff. Like this is Walter. This is my great-great-grandfather. This is his class of 1891 picture, by the way. But so it's kind of crazy. So I think I can show you guys right here because I want to talk about this whole Neptune Pisces thing about California and what's happening to California now and in the whole world, really, in a really weird way. So where is this? Oh yeah, here it is. So I went and saw a bunch of my family stuff because here's my Palmer, my family's old, like, this is the old vault where they held the jewelry, and now it's like a store for like sports supplies and all that stuff. But my original family, you know, what do you call these? Safes from the 1800s are all still in here in the vault, and the vault is still there. You can't take them out of the vault. This store is still there from the 1800s. Still all their old original stuff. That's like my great-great-grandfather's handwriting and stuff. Long story short, went and did that whole thing, blah, 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 blah. So the thing I want to bring up about Californians and people, because the whole thing is like on kind of a interesting dynamic about all this is at the end of the day, people, because I have all the diaries of my whole family coming across the Oregon Trail. My family came on the Mayflower and the Speedwell, you know, came to America in the 1600s, were Quakers on the East Coast, and were over the East Coast because of religious control and, you know, this kind of, you need to be this way. And so people that came to California were bold. They were not scared. And they flocked because they wanted to get rid of that whole East Coast. There was a lot, and I'm not putting down the East Coast. I'm just saying at that time, religious aspects, you got to remember the witch trials were in the Neptune cycle before that, 1692. There was still that mentality and vibe of you have to be this way. So California with Neptune Pisces was about this gold rush, but it was a lot more than that. It was about freedom to be whoever your soul is. And that's why this place will always be that way. And that's why the surrounding energy, the earth acts like it is whatever it's going to be. Like, because it's allowed to be that way. It's allowed to be a beach with a city and mountains and this. The energy of California is Neptune and Pisces. But it's funny because California is now the #1 state of people leaving. When it was in the last Neptune cycle, it was where everybody was going to, because it takes strength like no other of a spiritual core to be here or to get here. But now people who have been here, they're afraid of earthquakes. They think that the world's going to end here. That's what they thought on the East Coast in the last Neptune Pisces, that those people are going to be doomed by God. My family writes this in their journals. And I just showed you guys the proof. I'm lineage of all the way to the pictures, literally first blood, all the way up to people on the Oregon Trail, okay? And in the diaries, the #1 thing that it said is that they were going to hell, that those people, you know, are crazy for going that way. It's dreamers. And you have to be a dreamer to be in California. And you know what? Part of a dream is going to be crazy sometimes. Sometimes there's going to be crazy volcanoes or, you know, a crazy earthquake or fires. And some of it really sucks and it's horrible. But this place is not for traditional. It is not for safe. Rent's really high here. People are crazy. People live freely. They speak freely. I'm the fucking Leo King, for God's sake, and I'm able to do that in California. Can you imagine me doing this anywhere else? Like, everybody looks at me like I'm crazy when I do my tours through America. People look like I'm crazy. Like, what? What do? You do astrology, and you got your trailer with the Leo King, and like they just don't get it. They don't get it. So there's some Neptune Pisces stuff for you. Are you, wherever you're at, trying to flee and escape a situation? And is there really good cause to it? Or is that cause so you can be truly who you are in the best way? Or are you escaping a situation in which is really good for you, but, you know, you're just wanting to escape? There's a lot of weird elements to that, you know. Like, I think a lot of the Californians that are leaving now, they all say, I think that the statistic was, and I don't want to say the wrong statistic because we're in Sag times, because I don't want to put out, you know, the wrong info. But the info is that people leave here because of the money, because it's expensive. But by you being afraid to live because of the money, what does that say as a manifester? That says that you are afraid to manifest money. And that you will continue on that element of being afraid to manifest because you have told the universe, I'm afraid. And I'm not going to be able to make it. I can't manifest. I can't figure it out. And you carry that with you and with Neptune and Pisces subconsciously forever. So when people, you know, and I really appreciate the person who made that comment, They got a great YouTube channel. But I feel that, you know, at the end of the day, it's like, if you start to believe in all this fear and get so scared, I mean, and get scared of this area of the world or that area of the world or this place or that, you know what? We're all on the same freaking earth. We're all humans in the collective consciousness. We're all going to go through whatever. If Yellowstone blows, if Russia blows up of a crazy nuclear thing gone wrong, if China decides to have the worst, you know, chicken flu again or whatever it was, bird flu, and if Africa is going to have an Ebola again and it's going to spread throughout the world, like, what is everybody freaking out about? It's delusions. This is what this whole Neptunian delusional Mars Neptune thing is. People just start looking at everything like this is crazy and wrong, and oh my God, you know, everybody starts to freak out. You know? So, at the end of the day, don't believe in fear of your own chaotic, delusional thinking. I know it can be hard. Trust me. I mean, I get it every day. Everybody tells me, why do you live in California? It's scary there. I get it either from scientists or I get it from, even in politics, I get it from, you know, like Republicans who tell me, oh my God, that's just liberalville. Or I get it from every angle, you know. Oh, the fires, the smoke is so bad, you know. And it's just like, okay, well, I'm going to hold it down, you know? Like, there's a million things going on everywhere else, you know? So, let's do the giveaways. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to, can I filter by date? Customer, credit card? No, I can do it. Filter by no, I guess we can do it by date, and that date was on when was, oh yeah, it was on November 26th. Perfect. So I'm just gonna pick someone now, and I'm a screen share because I don't have nothing to hide, right? I really don't. So these are all orders on November 26th on the Leo King store, and I'm just gonna pick a random one. I don't want to put out. It's 26814. So 286 or 26814. That's it. So it's Claudia Ochoa Maruna. That's who's won the magazine. Cool. So I will contact them, and I'm going to pull that up and get off that so you guys don't see their address or anything like that. Okay, we got that out of the way. Now let's give away the free reading. This aspect is going to be done by how I do. Yeah, here we go. So we want to screen mirror to, okay, mothership. All right, boom. So, oh no. Okay, so I think you guys can see my iPhone, right? Let's get out of this. Okay. So the Instagram, so people are asking where to get the magazine, okay? Like, let's just well, anyway, I mean, just today, there's people that got it. They're finding it at stores. Some people take pictures in front of the actual store. Some of them take it when they get it back home. Laundromat, you know, in the aisle. Here's Craig. Okay, oh no, here's Craig, who's, you know, the operations manager here at the Leo King and High Vibe Studios, and he's at Lowe's. It was at Lowe's, of all places. So at the end of the day, like, it's not like, you know what I mean? So, or this guy, and by the way, like, this guy went out of his way. This guy's in Japan and ordered it. And I'm like, whoa, this guy's getting a free Future Life subscription. Like, I don't care. Like, this guy's automatically getting it because it's like, that guy's just amazing. You know? Like, this girl is in, I think, a Walmart. So, you know, you got to go, like, in the magazine section, like, old school. Like, it's right next to, like, Vanity Fair and all that stuff. Okay? I think, I don't know where this person is, but yeah, they're, you know, there it is. It's down there by, like, running, oxygen. They put me with all the chicks, you know, miracles, spirituality, health. Anyway, let's give away this free reading. I said that even if you were entered in a while back, like at the beginning of this, that you still have an opportunity. And we are talking about hundreds of people, which I appreciate very much. So I'm going to do this and then scroll back, and I'm going to pick. Boom. And nope, that's not it. Somebody tagged Leo King in that one, though. All right, let's do this again. This is who won the free reading. Original bead lady. So I will I think you can send a message. You won free reading. Thank you for support. Email. All right. Boom. Now we got 2 more Future Life subscriptions to give away, but I also have stuff. There's some Twitter people, so I got to give away a Twitter person. Carolyn's going to get this one. So you won a subscription. Thank you for your support. Woo, okay. And we have one more, which Facebook, nobody's been really doing well with that one. It's too hard for me to figure it out for some reason. So we're going to get rid of the Facebook, and we're going to do another Instagram one, because this is where everybody's been doing it a lot with the Future Life thing. So here we go. There's a lot. I feel like I got to get someone down here. Although that's for the magazine, so it's kind of like somebody at the top. Actually, we'll just do the top. So it's between these 2 tops. So how are we going to do this? We're going to flip a coin between these 2 peeps right here, her and her. So if I pick heads, it'll be her. If I pick tails, it'll be her. Let's see here. And it's heads. So she wins a Future Life subscription. Actually, I'm going to give one away to both of them. How about that? I am in the sad spirit. You won. Yay. Oh, wait, I need to add the email. All right. Boom. And boom. And thank you for everybody for doing this. So we just gave away a lot there, which I truly appreciate everybody that's been helping. If I had some last things to say about astrology here. Well, actually, it's funny. So I'm using Astro Gold on a PC, which is kind of hard to do. But like, so what's cool about, I want to show the app to people on my phone and how I do this. So you're able to make on Astro Gold like your own chart, your own way, like kind of add that 3-dimensional shadow. So I do it with all the planets black, and then I put the traditional colors of the zodiac signs. Well, pretty much the traditional, but fire signs are fire signs, and earth are earth, and air kind of a weird color, like a greeny blue, and then blue is water. But this is the way I like to run my Astro Gold chart. I like it clean. I like it with all of the aspects. And it's really cool that you can change all this stuff, because you can go into like your settings and you can change your wheel display, and you can change all your colors. You can change your buy wheel. It's pretty cool. So, if you guys really want to start and I don't get paid or nothing from Astro Gold. I just promote them because I think they are the coolest people on the planet that made the most amazing astrology software for your iPhone and Android. And it's a one-time fee. It's like $39, and forever. You're just like, boom, like right now, boom. That's the astrology right now. Oh, boom. Oh, let's go hours ahead. Okay, yeah, let's go. You know what I mean? And this is the real deal. This is the real deal. Look at that Mars Neptune, and this is on your phone. So anyway, I just kind of wanted to point that out. Well, I hope that I was able to kind of give some people some insight about what's going on here with these transits that are coming up. This new moon tomorrow is Thursday, so I'm going to try to get a spiritual dance music in, even though the new moon's at night. I definitely want to get a spiritual dance music in. So definitely going to work on that. And I'm just wishing you all the best. I will answer just like a couple questions here. I am so selfish. I want a magazine about myself. I could career less about politics and celebrities. I just need to know how to get to a cosmic makeover. Okay, I don't know how to answer that question. Well, no real questions. So Thor news again. He's right. It's not a solar flare. It's a coronal mass ejection, and we will be fine. Mood swings, maybe. You guys should watch his channel, especially because, everything that the sun is doing is extremely connected to what happens here on Earth. Our weather patterns, our earthquakes, the hurricanes, everything. Everything. And I have noticed that every major transit in astrology, when it gets extreme, rare, and new, okay? Like when it's a very rare transit and it's very high energy, the sun is popping off, coronal holes, big solar flares, major sunspot activity. It's so crazy connecting those two. And anyway, it's gnarly. I definitely follow Thor News out there. He's on YouTube. Awesome channel that goes into a lot of that stuff. You can always email a question if you're on Leo King Elite to info@leokingelite.com. Yeah, you can always ask questions. Anyway, how's my ass? Oh, from the hemorrhoids? Doing much better. I had to change my diet. So like I had to eat more salads and more beans, and more, what else? More fruit, more, just more of that, less meat. You know what I mean? Like diet helps. I was given, I don't even know. No, I don't have it. This is behind the computer, but so the doctor gave me this fucking steroid, like, it's like a supplemental, or what do you call it? Whatever you call it, where you just jam it up your fucking anus. Like, and I just was like, no, not going to do that. Right. It's like 25 milligrams of steroid, I'm like reading a suppository. Thank you. Like reading the fucking warning signs. And it's like, stay away from anybody with the flu. Stay away from anybody with HIV. Stay away from anybody with any kind of sickness, because your immune system will go down when you take a steroid, and because it's an anti-inflammatory, and it will wear down your immune system in order to stop the the inflammation. And I'm like, fuck that shit, you crazy. So I just fucking got a bunch of coconut oil and just slapped that shit up my butt. And then I just changed my diet. And then I realized I put too much coconut oil, because I read somebody online was making their own suppositories by taking coconut oil and putting it in the freezer and then shoving it up their butt, right? And I was like, oh, well, it kind of already is like that. Like whenever you have, virgin coconut oil, it's not like it's goop, it's like kind of hard when you like are pushing it. So I was like, well, maybe I'll just shove some of that up my butt. But then it was kind of like, it was like too much. I was like, now I've got like too much going on here. Now, like, I don't know if the hemorrhoid's going away, but now it feels like my butt's just overfilled with too much stuff going on, I was like, this is just some crazy Mercury retrograde Scorpio shit. I was like, this is just too much craziness. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to cut out the fucking, the coconut oil. I'm going to stay on the diet, but I'm going to use witch hazel and aloe vera wipes that are all natural. But believe it or not, Preparation H makes that shit. And that shit has been gold. They should hire me for a commercial. That stuff is gold, because it's just enough, and they even come portable too. So yeah, it's been a wonderful time dealing with that. Got the tooth fixed. You can't even tell, huh? Like, good shit. She did good, huh? You can't even tell. So, and I'll be all, it seems that you guys are enjoying you know me, I don't give a fuck. I'll talk about anything. So, shoving coconut oil up your butt, okay? At first, you might think, like, not bad. It's not bad. But like 3 or 4 days later, your butt kind of goes, no, this is too thick. It's too goopy. You know, it's like, yeah, exactly. Lube in my ass, and I'm not even gay. It's like, I don't know. It just felt not right. Like I was just like, no, this is just not feeling good. And I think I overdid it. You know, I was like trying to be like, oh shit, I gotta make sure it really gets in there and fucking starts to clean this shit out, you know? And yeah, it was just too fucking much, you know what I mean? Like, now somebody had brought up lube, like lube's is no problem, but lube kind of goes away after like an hour or two. You know what I mean? Like, so I use baby oil. I use baby oil to tan in the summer. I don't even use I don't like whatever you call it, suntan lotion and all that stuff. And I just use baby oil, or I use just like straight up like coconut oil mixed with like other oils. Like I just use straight up just like when you should see me, I'm like totally like 1980s. Like I just like lube up and go into the sun, and just like in one day I'm like tan, ready for the whole year. Yeah, it's just like boom. I don't use any sunblock at all. Zero SPF. And I don't use anything that is got chemicals in it. Just straight oils. That's it. So anyways, my ascendant my ascendant is I'll show you my chart. You want to see my chart? I'm surprised. I think I put my chart up for people. I'll just show you guys before I go. You can just take a look at it. But I'm Leo ascendant, 26 degrees. And then right here. Leo ascendant, 26 degrees. Here we go. Sun Leo, 0 degrees, 12th house. Venus, 11, 12th house. Mercury, 26 on the rising. And then I think the anal issues was Venus going retrograde on my Saturn in Scorpio. You know, especially because I also got Mars. Good thing it wasn't my dick or anything, because I honestly, like, that would have not been cool. Like I wouldn't. I'd rather have something happen to my butt than my dick. You know what I mean? Like that's just like because I have Mars in Scorpio. Like Saturn, I kind of am okay with. If something's bad in my butt, like that's where a bunch of bad stuff comes out anyway. So whatever. But on my dick, like no, that's not cool. I don't know. I'm a moon in Taurus, so you know that's why a lot of people don't like me on Algol. And I'm Chiron North Node conjunct in Gemini, so I think a lot of people don't like me that way either from that. And I'm a pompous Leo. I've got a lot of Leo, and I have Jupiter Neptune conjunct in the 5th house. I mean, I believe in dreams so big that I leave reality and make reality dreams. And by the way, I'm done with Saturn. Look at Saturn ain't going to touch a planet till my moon. It ain't even going to touch another planet in conjunction until it hits 11 Leo. Sure, it might touch some asteroids and a moon, which isn't a planet, but I don't have Saturn touching a planet now because Saturn's at 8 now, right? Saturn's actually about to conjunct my vertex. That's the last thing. And then I'm like in chill land for a while. So I'm telling you, ever since Saturn conjuncted my sun in 2005, like 2000, that was gnarly, man. That was gnarly. So anyway, that's my chart, and that's me, and that's life. And I gotta go film a video. Yeah, you caught me live. Woo! I gotta go film a video for Future Life, and I actually have dinner here, and I need to eat my fiber food so I can take a nice, easy shit tomorrow. It's gonna be beautiful. I love you all. See, the thing about, I don't know if I can go full vegan because like already, like it's already, I don't know. I can't go full vegan, but I'm like 70% vegetables and stuff right now and like 30% meat. So I'm doing pretty fucking good. You know what I mean? Like, I think I'm doing pretty good. And I'm not doing red meat, and I'm only doing like clean shredded pork or chicken and turkey, and that's it. Like, that's it. I'm eating more fruit than I am meat, and I'm eating more salads and beans. My wife, like Leanna, told me eat a lot of beans, and I'm like, I already fucking like have a fast metabolism, so like I fucking will fart a lot. You know what I mean? Like, if I was a vegan, I bet you vegans fart 80 to 100 times a day. I bet you $100. They just fart nonstop because eating that diet literally like makes me fart more. And I already fart a lot because I'm an athlete and all that shit. I bet you the secret, they should come out with a Netflix series, The Secrets of Vegan Life. And I dare, if vegans want to prove that they're the way to go, I would love every vegan to have a microphone recorder next to their butt and see how many times they fart. I'm just saying. And I'm not putting them down. I'm just saying that I have a fast metabolism, so I fart a lot. But when you add this diet to me, it's like, whoa. Yeah, you know, I was gonna, somebody said a vegan lion doesn't sound okay. I normally would say like, well, you know, Leo can be a vegan, you know. I'm a double Leo, and my Venus is in Leo, and my the ruler of my chart, the sun is Leo at 0 degree, which rules blood. Have you guys ever seen the picture of 0 Leo, the first degree of Leo? It literally is about blood fucking pouring from somebody's head. It's about blood. Leo rules blood. So there's going to be blood, you know? I know. Sophia's telling me that changing the diets make you fart. But I'm just trying to say that I fart a lot already. And I felt like, you know, it just makes me fart more. And then it's just like more farting. And then there's more fart. I just noticed that the farts are just more just when you're on a diet like that, it's just more just boom, like, you know, like, whoa, man, like, because my body just processes it so fast, you know? It's like crazy. You know? Like crazy. Oh, yeah, I got the Eagles is my alarm. I know. What a great, I can't believe the combo went here, but what a great way to end Mercury retrograde. I should have watched my tongue, but I don't care. You guys are having fun. I'm having fun. At the end of the day, we're all having fun. And you know what? What is better than Mercury retrograde in Scorpio being real and talking about some dirty shit, literally. So, like, it was interesting. Walt Disney, who I watched a documentary on him like a week ago on Netflix. All he ate was beans and chili. Everywhere he went, he even carried his own beans and chili. And I think it was weird because, I think because the diet of men during those times, even it was weird. Hitler ate nothing but beans too and had horrible flatulence problems. We'll use the Capricorn term flatulence. And he was a vegetarian. And he had horrible, problems with that. So like, there's some aspects of all that with beans, and even Hitler ate a lot of beans. Maybe I just need to eat a lot of beans to make it go easier in life. It's just, you know. And then maybe I should just buy Beano. You guys remember Beano? Like to like not make you fart so much. Then it counteracts it. I don't know why anybody would take anything to counteract it. I think society should be more chilling about farting. Like when you get in a relationship, you know, everybody hides their farting at the beginning, right? Like women, men, they all hide their farting, right? Because it's like, oh, like I'm dating someone, and oh my gosh. But like as a guy, it's like, oh yeah, can I use your bathroom? Or if I'm at my house and when I used to date, like, and they come over, I'd be like, I use the bathroom. It's like, I don't care who you are. I don't care how loud you put up the water to try and hide your fart, or flush the toilet and put on the water to try and hide your fart. Like the door, like farts are loud, you know? And then like the worst is if like you try and stay the night with someone and then you have to fart, and then like you have to hold your fart forever. And then like, then it just makes it worse. And then finally, by the time you get in your car, you are ready to fart, but you can't fart because you've been holding your fart for like a day or a whole night. So it's like we live in a society where like everybody's like so afraid to fart. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and then you can't fart. And then that whole next day after the date and after you slept over, like you're just like not able to fart because you held it in and it just ruined your whole digestive system. And then it takes you days to get back on track. I think I should create a dating app called Fart App, you know, where you go on a date and literally like straight up, like it's cool at the beginning. Like we're going to be cool with farting right away. And you might have a better date experience. Maybe, because maybe the whole problem of dating today is because of all these people afraid to be fully true with farting. That might be the whole answer to the whole universe. The whole answer to the whole universe. Not astrology, nothing. The whole answer of why we're here is to learn to fart and freely. So, it's the answer. Whole time we've been looking at planets, we've been looking at all these idols, we've been looking at all these ancient civilizations. All we had to do was fart. Love you guys. I'm going to talk to y'all later. And thanks for the love. Peace.